Hey folks, welcome back to, welcome back. I guess welcome back in a sense. Welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIII universe, maybe? Welcome to a new Let's Play from the Mysterious JG. Not the game I was kind of expecting to segue into in this slot. As I upload these, this is replacing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but this is a game with a little bit different flavor. I don't know why I'm being coy about what it is. It's not the one I expected to go into, but I had this kind of hankering to get back into this series, and I figure, what the hell? This would be my chance to jump back in. So if anybody out there was really waiting to see more Grand Theft Auto or even more Yakuza, that's coming. But first, we have to settle things up with Final Fantasy 13. We have to settle things up with a little lady called Lightning. It's time for Let's Play. I think the name of this game is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's find out if I'm right. News and updates cannot be accessed. Okay. I don't think that matters. This game is certainly not new, and I don't remember what that feature was. I'm playing this on the Xbox 360. I don't have a active gold subscription because it's an Xbox 360. I'm looking at it now. It's got a lot of dust on top of it. But I think I should still be able to play through the single player content. I guess we'll find out in a mo. Exterior, Gotham City, night. International Bat Cave. Sorry, I was watching some goofy video about. It's supposedly Bobo thinks it's fake. It's funny either way. It's supposedly a screenplay for a Batman movie written by a bot, and the person reading it on YouTube saw INT period Bat Cave or Wayne Manor or something and said international instead of interior. I'm like, you fool. Well, let's watch the intro. I don't think it tells you much. It just kind of shows off in classic Final Fantasy 13 fashion. It's very pretty and gives you no idea what the fuck's going on. That's this series in a nutshell. Very pretty. The story's none of your business. Well, actually, I believe we'll end up seeing this entire cinematic again when we start the story. So maybe I shouldn't listen when you're watching it. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Okay, I was right, and I was thinking it was something like that, but I didn't actually check to make sure I was correct. Yeah, this game loves really like stylish, dramatic, cinematic scenes of. Like, there's this whole thing. I think one of my favorite video titles from the first series was "The Transformers Attack a NASCAR Event." A lot of like bright lights and people dancing and weirdness. We'll get into the plot in a minute, but we've got a guy with a dumb helmet getting choke slammed by lightning, who apparently sucks out his soul and uses it to power dark magics. Or maybe they're light magics. There's Snow, who's angry that we have turned to sucking the souls out of people. But now there's a chessboard, and it's got a monster. This game has a story, and it kind of made more sense to me, if I recall correctly, than individual pieces of the story are silly and make no sense. The overall thrust of the narrative I was able to follow better than the other Final Fantasy 13. And apparently the Nova Crystallis series also includes Final Fantasy Type 0, which is set in the same universe but doesn't have the same characters, and I've played a little bit of it, and I don't see how it's set in the same universe. It doesn't have any of the same places. I guess it's got L'Cie. But yeah, I played this when it came out, and I remember having enjoyed it. My history with this series, as you may recall, if you're watching this, you probably are someone who likes my RPG Let's Plays and has watched before, but I played Final Fantasy 13. I remember it as being the RPG Let's Play Bobo started watching, and this is before he was married and had kids, but like he couldn't bring himself to finish because he just hated the story and the characters. But I found the story and the characters of Final Fantasy XIII a lot of fun to kind of make fun of. It was one of my favorite Mystery Science Theater style Let's Plays, where I just mocked the silliness of things as we played. But overall, I enjoyed it as a Let's Play, even if there's a lot of flaws with the game that I kind of teased, and I got really turned off of like powering through the series though, and I got to the end of that Let's Play because having never had any copyright strikes on anything up to that point, I suddenly found that the entire ending was like hard copyright. There was no way I was going to be able to put it on YouTube. Later on, I found other videos of the ending that were on YouTube and couldn't figure out why suddenly I wasn't allowed, why I wasn't personally allowed to. Yeah, that's, I guess, Sarah. Don't know where Stud is. A lot of this game takes a while before it makes sense. And the part about Sarah, who appears as kind of an evil force, that's one of the parts I don't remember having made sense. But no, my personal history, yeah, I played through the first game, and then at the end I had to put together my own silly slideshow of images and describe the ending because the YouTube Google overlords wouldn't let me show it, even though other videos showed the ending. I wasn't sure why. I didn't want to play games with, like, let's reverse the image, because the music also seemed to be getting a strike. It was one of the weirder things that's happened with my channel. That made me really not want to play Final Fantasy X-2 like for a long time. I finally did give it a try. I Let's Played it. It was fun enough, I guess. Didn't have a ton of... It wasn't one that I had a whole lot of people on board watching, but the little small JGRPG gang hung out and watched it, and I think we had fun, and I liked it. And I didn't have copyright strikes, but I was desperately afraid that I would, and therefore didn't mess with it too. It took a while to get to it. We're going to start a new game. I finished this game offline. We could do a new game plus, I believe, and I could take the items I won in my first playthrough. But I just want to play through it straight. Actually, the only reason I'm not doing that is because I believe there are certain things that haven't cleared them once they would not appear in another play. The downloadable content consists mostly of like costumes for Lightning, but as you'll see, that actually is more than just cosmetic. But yeah, I've been vamping for a few minutes. Let's just play the game, because I think we're going to end up watching that entire intro sequence again, but this time with plot voiceover. So let's see what there is to see. Over the course of the LP, I'm sure I'll recap the story of the first two games. But for now, let's just move forward. We'll go on normal mode. I don't remember what easy mode and normal mode, what the difference is, but we'll do normal mode. You have selected normal mode. Battle difficulty normal. Fleeing battle penalty imposed. HP health no auto recovering field. Let's see what easy mode is. I'm curious. Battle difficulty easy. Fleeing battle no penalty. HP health auto recovering field. We'll go for normal. I was just curious. The difference is you get healed between battles automatically. That seems really easy. No penalty for fleeing battles. Maybe once we get into normal mode, we'll suddenly clamor for easy mode, but I don't think so, because I've played through this game once. Let's get moving. Yes. We'll save on the hard drive. So I've got save data 132.22. I guess it's okay for me to have tons of slots. Total hour page 72. I must have a new game plus going at some point. It's been, yeah, I mean, this is, it's not 10 years, but it's been a long time since I played this game offline, so I don't remember what's going on. We will start a brand new game. We will be a happy couple. Because I believe if I chose one of those slots, I would be doing a new game plus type of deal. This game over in this game is a bit weird. We'll figure it out as we go on, but you can start the whole story over. It's a rather unusual game in many ways, and part of it is you can get like halfway through the story and then restart the story, but take everything that you've gained up to that point as far as stat advancement, and we may even need to do that at some point. It's an unusual game, but we will start a new one. Right here, right now. Autosave. Final Fantasy. Lightning returns Final Fantasy XIII will automatically save your progress. During autosave, an icon will appear on the top left corner. You can also save your game manually. Press start to open the pause menu and select save. Do not turn off the power or remove storage devices while the save icon is being displayed. So I guess there's no save, like crystals or dragon statues to pray at, or little flashing globes with an S in them. You can just save wherever. So that's a thing to know. Outer World Services. Yeah, this game is weird. Lightning is sexualized in kind of a strange way because she comes across as a pretty competent woman. Maybe I'm reading stuff into it and I'm a weirdo, but I always thought there were little minor hints here and there that she might be interested in other women, if you catch my drift, just because of little bits of dialogue. She never really seems to express romantic interest in anyone, but the game, like, the first game, she's pretty covered most of the time, but I remember some of the official art involved her crossing her legs in a way I thought was sexy, maybe just because I'm a perv. The second game, the cover art for the cover box art really had something that was like showing a lot of butt cheek. And in this game, you can see official artwork right off the back. We're seeing almost bare back, like she's got a cape, but no shirt underneath the cape, and a shot where the cape is strategically flapping back so you can see her bare back. So it's like just slightly unusual ways of showing flesh. It's not like they're not giving her like super huge breasts or upskirt shots, but there is little things like, "Hey guys, you into backs?" Sorry. You can use various networking features in this game to communicate with other players. As long as you connected to the internet, the online environment that is available via your connection is called the outer world, and the ways that you can communicate, we don't care about this, and news and whatever seems to be offline anyway. You can post about your experiences in the game and view screenshots and messages from other players by talking to certain residents of Nova Crystallia. Yeah, so this is them trying to have like a multiplayer kind of experience in what is basically a one-player game, using Xbox Live at the time or PlayStation Online. And since the game is like, it's almost 10 years old now, if it's not 10 years old, and I was just playing it several years after it came out, obviously none of this stuff is still active. People whose names appear in blue in the field are carrying messages posted by other players. Outworld services can be linked. You can enjoy. Yeah. I'm trying to. I don't even remember. I didn't take advantage of it at the time because I was trying to do an escapist fantasy game. I wasn't really interested in. It reminds me of the first time I ever played Wii U or Wii or whatever with Bobo and Bean, and like there's a little like you had to make your Nintendo Miis, and they wandered around in this Mii town. It was like the games you could play were buildings in a town, and you walked around with your little virtual avatars, and people's messages appeared on your screen. And Star Wars The Force Awakens had just popped out, and spoiler, somebody was walking around with a message that says Han Solo dies at the end. And we had seen the movie, so it wasn't a spoiler for us, but we were like, man, what a fuck you, some guy wandering around and in the me world being a dick. So I'm sure it was active a little bit back when I played, but yeah, even when it was a thing I could do, I did not take advantage of the social aspect of Final Fantasy, or Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, because the internet and the gaming community is full of assholes. Do you want to enable connections to Outerworld services? No. Change Outerworld services? I'm not going to do that, but thank you for telling me. Just don't keep asking about it, please. Now loading. We are probably not getting into gameplay in this video, are we? Partly it's my fault.
When I awoke from my dreamless sleep, I was just in time to witness the end of the world.
It's the end of the world, etc. Yep, it's that same cinema that we just watched. I'm doing it again. This happens with every Final Fantasy 13 game. They open with it before you get to the menu, and I watch it, and then I start a game, and we watch it again. Let's see if I was right about there being a checkerboard. Why the question marks? That was the voice of Hope. We've heard that character before. Did Hope sound the same with the first game and the second?
The last revelry to say farewell. The people here know that it's almost over.
And now you're the Phantom of the Opera. Except even 6. And you took out the glasses. So
only 13 days to go.
Final Fantasy 13 days to go. In the first game, Hope was a little kid, and in the second game, Hope appeared as a young adult. And I'm trying to remember if his voice was the exact... I think it was the same voice actor. He probably did some different characterization for older Hope. But that sounds like Hope to me, so I don't know why they're making a Mr. Question, was, of course, Ken... Hold on a second. Ken Sakazaki, the father of Ryo and Yuri. Bobo would get that joke, but he's not going to watch this series.
Too late now.
I've already defeated Garland.
What are you doing?
She's just like... lightning absorbing people's souls seems strange to me. I thought she was a good person. I guess she's the savior. And Snow doesn't seem happy to see the savior. I suppose for a lot of us, Jesus just suddenly showing up might be something that we'd be a little thrown off by. Yeah, you probably should have backed away from that. Cocktail waitresses and bunny ears getting murdered by monsters from hell. Final Fantasy. Sorry. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy. So you're at Lassie again. That was the thing that happened in the second game.
It's been a long time. You know what I am. And you know what I want.
Ladies.
I can take a wild guess. You want to save me.
Save me. So this is her official costume for this game, which I will probably not be using much.
Bringer of light, redeem my souls.
Because this game very much has Final Fantasy X-2 style dress spheres.
Damn you, lightning!
I don't like you.
What's it gonna be? You gonna try to kill me? Huh?
I've been wanting that for a long time, Snow.
Lightning not wanting to murder Snow where he stood was a big thing. In the ending of the original game, her reaching a point where she didn't, every waking moment, want to murder Snow is kind of a big
It's
deal.
over.
So I guess that has
You're a
changed.
regular angel of death, Light. So now what? This the bit where you save my soul?
Stop
I could
calling
help
me
you.
Light. Start calling me
That's
Ning.
what you want.
Damn it! What kind of answer is that?
It's an honest answer.
Uh-oh. No, that isn't going to work.
Kind of a close talker there, Snow. Oh, and Sarah appears and destroys your sword with her neck.
Now that's not right. You're not supposed to throw your life away.
You're supposed to die after a struggle.
Okay, I guess that's a thing he can
I
do.
swear that kid is a demon.
Angels
Yes,
of
sir.
death and demons. You're attracting the wrong crowd, Snow.
Hey, I know she's a demon. That doesn't mean she's not a good wife.
No one is gonna stop me. You hear? Not you. Definitely not her.
Possibly Stud,
I have to fight
aka
the Savior.
Noel.
And I will.
But you just did fight the Savior, and you were losing, and then... Well, okay, whatever. Perhaps at some point, the story will cease to be none of our damn business.
The centuries have changed us, Snow and me.
You look good,
Once
though,
we
for
fought
your age.
desperately together against our fates. Now he's patron of a never-ending revel, presiding over a banquet at the end of the world.
So presumably ending
And
Rebel
I've
at some
become
point.
the savior.
I'm
I'm
the
a
safest
servant of
place.
God, sent to a world being consumed by chaos.
Oh, she's a
Tell me,
Jesus freak
Snow.
now.
Has ever a day passed when you haven't thought about Sarah?
Sure, lots of them. I got all sorts of
girl
ladies
you
now.
loved, my younger sister.
You
How
give us so
long
much
has
great
she been
exposition.
gone now? She brought us together and made us allies and friends.
And for
I
you,
can't give her
made you
back
a
to you.
man.
But I can save your soul. and free you from your long torment. It'll be my first act as savior.
Actually, you got other things to do first. I think saving Snow is like 2/3 of the way through the story or so, I thought. At least the way I played it. You have a little bit more freedom of sequence in this game. Anything compared to Final Fantasy XIII, the original Final Fantasy XIII, is...
All right, Mr. Hopest time.
You have different,
Any ideas?
more options.
What do I
That's a
do
very
next?
linear game.
Like, come on, just call me Hope, okay? Right now, your #1 priority is Snow. Don't let him get away.
Alright, I do not remember how combat works, so... Schemata tutorial. Learn about battle controls and schemata. Maybe it's stigmata. I mean, she is the savior. We will take the tutorial. Lightning can be moved about the battlefield using the left knob thingy-majigger. Unleash abilities by pressing the button associated with the set ability. If you hold a button down, lightning will fire off attack after attack until out of Atba. Atba. Okay, Thunder, Attack, Guard. Got that. Each ability will consume some amount of lightning's Atba. Her Atba gauge illustrates the source of her power and is displayed in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Hold down B to keep attacking until Atba charge is empty. In battle, lightning can switch between different combinations of equipment and garb known as schemata. In other words, it's Final Fantasy X-2 and now we got dress spheres. Up to 3 different schemata can be used in battle, but at the moment lightning only has 2 schemata set. Switching between schemata takes hardly a moment, and you can switch as many times as you'd like in battle. Press LB or RB and switch between schemata. Now with the Dark Muse. You change to the Dark Muse schemata and change lightning's abilities. Pardon me. Each scheme... sorry. Not a great way to start a video. Each schema has its own Atba gauge. ATB, I think, is like... I don't remember what it was supposed to stand for, but it's our ATB gauge. To fuel its own particular abilities. Just now you switch from the red ATB gauge of the Savior to the yellow ATB gauge of the Dark Muse. The Mark Dews. Using abilities in battle will consume ATB, but each schema's ATB gauge will replenish over time. So this is a bit more rhythm-oriented. I mean, you have to switch jobs. It's less about switching jobs like in the prior games. You always controlled a party. In this game, you're always playing only as Lightning. Final Fantasy XIII, you picked one character out of a party of 3, but you switch. You had like pre-programmed sets of roles where. I don't remember what they called them, but like you could have Lightning as a Ravager who does attacks that build up this stagger gauge. You could have Snow in the party acting as a commando who was using attacks that would prevent the enemy's stagger gauge from depleting quickly once it was built. And you have Daniil or somebody might be your medic who heals, but you can switch. And then you've got a different thing where you hit a button and everybody switches jobs simultaneously, and then you all become sentinels and you all defend whatever. This game, you're only playing as one person at a time. So it's less about, like, switching job roles as it is switching between different jobs because your ATB depletes and you don't want to be you don't want to be unable to attack while your ATB is recharging. So if you switch back and forth between them, you'll have 2 that are... You're gaining action points on 2 jobs while using action points in your 3rd job. Whereas in the last game, strategy was all about, hey, if I have 2 Ravagers, I'm building up this stagger meter, but it depletes really quickly, and I need a commando in there to stop it from depleting. So a Ravager and a commando is better than 2 Ravagers. But with that 3rd person, I could have 2 Ravagers and 1 commando. But that might be risky because no one's healing, so I might want to have a medic instead, and instead of a medic, maybe I want somebody who's acting as a tank, blah, blah, blah. This game, we'll get into it more as we go, but it's like, I think the jobs are more about have jobs whose abilities complement each other, because you'll be switching back and forth between them. You're not complementing them as, like, party composition so much as, like, yeah, try to have different jobs that all take advantage of the enemy's weaknesses because you're switching between jobs mostly to make sure you constantly have enough attack points to actually do something. Standby schemata will recover ATB more quickly. You can see the ATB gauge for Lightning's standby schema, the Savior, will regain ATB more quickly than her currently active schema, Dark Muse. Keep an eye on both your ATB gauges and the enemy's condition in order to switch between schemata and battle effectively. Change your schemata to quick victory in battle. So now I can just keep using B, which is what I was. So I'm just physically attacking with both jobs, but I switch between them. It's got a whole new costume, but it's still got various. There's always some skin showing. EP.1, Gil 40, items, poisonous sting. And we're now loading. Camera settings tutorial. Customize camera movement. The current setting is standard. Moving will pan the camera. Change camera settings. No. Standard's fine.
Damn, I'm trapped.
The automated defense system.
And we're attacking a Niblet, which seems like a pretty weak enemy. I don't remember what that little weird bear, like, aura around it was doing. But we got a Niblet hairball. We got 0.04 EP. What EP are, I hope they explain eventually, because it's not... It's like... I don't think it's really quite experienced, but it's leveling up. Grinding against enemies to level is very different in this game. Like, how you gain stats in this game is very different from the prior games.
Deemed safe. I guess that means clearing out all the monsters, right?
We've been alerted, so maybe I can sneak up on you. Guarding tutorial. Learn about guarding against enemy attacks. Take tutorial. See through your enemy's movements and guard against incoming attacks to reduce damage you take from them. Press the button just before an enemy connects with the attack and you will pull off the perfect guard. Perfect guarding greatly reduces the damage you take from attacks, allowing you to brush them off without breaking a sweat. If you hold X down, you can take defensive stance and maintain a stable guard. Press or hold down X to try to perfect your guarding. You guard against the attack. I didn't perfect guard. I have no idea how long that attack animation would go. Learning how to predict your enemy's moves. You should be able to improve the timing of your guard attempts. Watch now all the Anubis in front of you. Its attacks on the battle axe. When you notice the enemy readying an attack, guard to reduce damage. Fight back effectively. If you reach 0, you can no longer fight. Use recovery items by pressing start to open the pause menu. Lightning's HP carries over to the field after battle. Outside of battle, press Y to open up the menu. Heal yourself when you are in danger to increase your chances of victory in battle.
We will be reborn.
So I didn't, again, I guarded, but I didn't perfect guard, so. But we got fancy music to play anyway, so we are champion. Lost a little bit of hit points. Got 0.1 EP, 40 gil, and a poisonous sting. I hope you guys are excited about this poisonous sting as I am. Poisonous Sting is a great tag team partner to Poisonous Lex Luger, and of course, he was the lead singer of the Poisonous Police. When we come back next time, folks, we will continue this kind of tutorial-rich area, and eventually we'll get into the main game. I was really... Like, I had a hankering to play this game, and I was really puzzling over whether or not it was the right thing to do for the channel, and then it occurred to me, it's my fucking channel. So I hope you guys are into it, because I kind of am. And maybe like 3 videos in, I'll be like, why the fuck did I pick this game up? But for right now, I'm kind of excited about Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. So I hope you'll join me next time for more Pretty Princess Lightning. Lightning is the most, like, as goofy as the Final Fantasy XIII world is, Lightning as a heroine is pretty much consistently treated as, like, an ass kicker, serious, not to be fucked with, capable, and this is the game that puts her in different princess costumes. See you next time.